The next decrease technique I'm going to show you is the skpo, which stands for slip one, knit one, pass slip stitch over. That's the skpo. This is also a left leaning decrease and is paired with the K2 tog, right sloping decrease. What you do, you just knit as normal up to where you want to do the decrease, and as it says in the name skpo, the S stands for slip one, so you slip one knitwise, so you go under the stitch as you would if you were just going to knit it, but then you pull the stitch off to create a slip stitch. Then it's knit one, so you just knit a stitch as normal. So now you've got a slip stitch and a knit stitch. And the last part is the pass slip stitch over section. So what you do is you pick up the slip stitch, which is the second one down, and you lift it over the knit stitch above it. Hold the knit stitch onto the needle with your right thumbnail, because you want to keep the knit stitch on the needle whilst carrying the slip stitch over the top of the knit stitch and off the needle. So you just pull that slip stitch over the top, off the needle, and let it go. So you've got one knit stitch left on, and the slip stitch has been taken over the top of the needle and let go there. So now you've created one stitch from two, so you've decreased by one, so it's a single decrease. So let's do that again. You just knit as normal, then you slip a stitch knitwise, so you go to knit but you don't, and you just pull that stitch off, then you knit a stitch as normal. So you've got a slip stitch there and a knit stitch there. The knit stitch you want to stay on the needle at all times. The slip stitch is going to be pulled over the top of the knit stitch and off the needle. So you pick up the slip stitch with your left needle and you pull it over the top of the knit stitch and off the needle and let go. You'll be familiar with this technique if you have done the cast off technique. And I'll just show you one more time. So you slip the stitch knitwise, you do one knit stitch, and then you carry the slip stitch over the top of the knit stitch and over the top of the end of the needle and let go, and you have decreased by one. And that's all there is to it. That's the skpo single decrease technique, which is left sloping and is paired with the right sloping K2 tog technique.